I'm trying for the first time to do, not the first time, I think this is probably the second time of trying to do live YouTube broadcast. But since YouTube changed their rules of the amount of subscribers or viewing hours one should get before they go live, I haven't done a Facebook Live. So now I'm trying this live. I just want to remind people that there's a general election in the Gambia this year. And the general election is going to be on the 4th of December 2021. And I support one of the political parties in the Gambia called the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction. That's the party I support, and I would like the party to win this coming December. The Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction is shortened for APRC, or the abbreviation is APRC, the Gambia. They're the same party that was in government between 1996 and 2016 in the Gambia. And the leader of the party, who was also the president of the Republic of the Gambia, is Yaya Jammeh. And he was the president of the Gambia, but still the party leader of the APRC. So therefore, looking at the record of that party from 1996 to 2016 when Jammeh left, the party managed to achieve a lot. If I start naming the achievements of the APRC party from 1996 to 2016, I will spend a week on this YouTube Live, and I still will not complete half of the story. But every story begins somewhere, and every story ends somewhere. So what I would like people to know that right now, the Gambia government, or the Independent Electoral Commission of the Gambia, is registering people to vote. Registration of voters will end on the 11th of July 2021. I would like people to go out and register in numbers, and I would like the majority of people who register to vote for the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, APRC. Why am I asking people to vote for the APRC? Well, the answers are clear, because right now in Gambia, if you go to our Republic of the Gambia and you compare Gambia today under President Adama Barrow, if you compare it through compare it to Jammeh's reign, Jammeh's era in office, it's like the gap is between the sky and the earth, with Jammeh being the sky. Because what Jammeh managed, even as a young lieutenant at the age of 29, what he managed to achieve in his first 2 years in government as a military leader between 1994 and 1996, Barrow government, or the coalition 2016 government in the Gambia, couldn't manage for 5 years. And we're just about to go to the polls on the 4th of December to end the term of the coalition government, coalition 2016. But we all know the coalition failed. That is general knowledge now. People know, everyone knows. We all agree that Barrow is a failure. And we're going into elections in December. We all agree the coalition failed. In fact, the coalition fell apart just 3 months into office. They fell apart. In fact, before they go into office, the coalition fell apart in December, January. While they were still waiting to get into government, they started bickering, they started firing each other illegally, they started doing things that they didn't even know they were doing. So anyway, I'm asking for people to go and register to vote. Anyone who's over the age of 18, or anyone who will be 18 by the 4th of December and has got Gambian documentation, and the documentation is quite simple. Anyone who's got Gambian documents and will be 18 by the 4th of December 2021, or they're already over 18, can go and register to vote. What do you need to get your voter's card? You need your birth certificate, or your ID card, or your passport, or an attestation from the alcalo or the chief. If you're new to Gambian structures of politics or leadership, the head of a village is called the alcalo, The head of a district is called the chief. So the chief or the alcalde can write a piece of paper, stamp it, authorize it, to say that they know you were born in a particular village to so and so parents, and you're a full Gambian citizen. All right? If the alcalde can do that, or the chief can do that and give you that piece of paper, you can take it to the voter registration center and they give you a voter's card. But the deadline of registering to vote in December 2021 is 11 July 2021. By 11 July, all the voting registration centers will be closed. So after the 11th of July, you cannot register to vote. So whatever opinion you have between July 11th to December, you cannot actually effect change as a person. You can continue to campaign for a political party or against a political party. But when it comes to voting and taking action, basically, you can't take action. You can talk the talk, but you cannot walk the walk. So this is why we must all go and get our voters' cards. Not only will we do the talk, we can also do the walk. We can change this government. Because Barrow government is in a serious mess. Yes, as I always say, things change. Barrow government can change for the better. But in that current situation, Barrow government is not going to change. Barrow is not going to improve. The people around him are not helping him. Barrow himself has admitted to being incompetent, being not ready to run that office. The only baffling thing is he admits he's not cut out for this job, yet he wants to perpetuate his stay in the office of the president. Why can't he just accept that he's not cut out for this job, he's not ready, just resign and go and enjoy his ex-presidential life? No, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to continue. And it's common knowledge, general knowledge. Everyone now knows that Barrow is not going to take Gambia to the next level unless he drastically changes his surroundings, his employees, his cabinet. Then he can start achieving some stuff. But at the moment, he's not. So therefore, I'm gonna keep this Facebook live show. Sorry, not Facebook, YouTube live short. Go and get your voters cards. Get ready for December 4th, 2021. Make sure if you're not happy with the current political situation in the Gambia, you change it. If you're happy with the current political situation, you vote for the government. But I cannot see which Gambian, average Gambian, is happy with the status quo. I cannot see any average Gambian being happy with where Gambia is if you compare it to Jammeh, who absolutely kept Gambia watertight, kept Gambia developing, achieved unprecedented development in the 22 years that he was president, something that the 432 years of governance before Jammeh couldn't manage. And when they start making excuses, they have to remember that when Jammeh took over in 1994, he was only 29. There was no transition. Gambia government was in deep depression, not just recession. Gambia government was in deep depression. And there was an economic recovery program which was instituted by IMF to ensure that Gambia didn't collapse completely. So Jammeh was 29, didn't work in government before or in politics. He was a military guy. He came in, he had sanctions against his government, he had travel advice against his government. He didn't benefit from a transition period between the old government and his government. But he still managed to achieve so many things in the space of 2 years, something that the Barrow government couldn't manage, something that the PPP government couldn't manage for 32 years, something that the imperialists, the British colonialists, couldn't manage for 400 years that they were colonizing Gambia, that they were administering Gambia. They couldn't achieve what President Jammeh achieved in the space of 2 years. And this is why I'm asking people to vote for APRC, because for APRC, we have the work ethic. We know nothing but working for the public, changing the lives of the people. And we don't care where you come from. We don't care what your gender is. We don't care about your age. We don't care about your orientation, many other things, your background. We put everyone on the same pedestal, equal opportunity. We're diverse. We empower youth. We empower women. So therefore, for Gambia to go forward, we must return APRC to government again to change the Gambia for the better, because Gambia is going backwards. Gambia is going back to the 80s where If you're not linked or related to a government minister or top government officials, you don't get good education, you don't get good medical care, you don't get jobs, and you don't get contracts if you're a contractor from the government, because it's all a cabal, it's a mafia, it's a circle of people who are related, people who know each other, who serve each other, all government opportunities. Jammeh came and got rid of all of that habit that was under the PPP government. Now, Barrow government has taken us back to the 80s again somehow. So we're time traveling. We've gone backwards. All right. We cannot allow that to continue. Barrow either changes and we support him, or Barrow remains the same and we kick him out. Go and get your voters' cards. Very important. The deadline for voters' cards is the 11th of July 2021. To all of you APRC supporters who are angry and saying that they're not going to go and register because of few reasons. I've heard APRC supporters say they're not going to go and register because Professor Jammeh, President Jammeh is not going to contest. Of course, President Jammeh is the flag bearer of the APRC still. So he's going to contest. Go and get your voters card. I've heard APRC people say they're angry with the fact that there's rumor that APRC is going into an alliance with NPP. It's going to form a coalition or an alliance with President Barrow's party. And APRC people don't want that, because they are seeing Barrow failing every single day, Barrow mortgaging Gambia every single day, and they don't want to be associated with the NPP, Barrow's political party. I'm urging APRC supporters to know that we're not into any alliance with Barrow. There's no formal alliance between APRC and Barrow, and there's unlikely to be an alliance between APRC and Barrow. So therefore, go and get your voters card. Even if Jammeh is not going to contest, and I'm sure Jammeh is going to contest, I'm sure he's going to come back as the flag bearer of the APRC. But even if he doesn't contest, we have got National Assembly elections, we have got local government elections. If you don't have voters cards, you will be letting Jammeh down, because you cannot vote him back into office, and you'll be letting your own brothers and sisters down who might contest to become MPs or councillors or mayors or chairmen or chairpersons. Please go and get your voters cards. They are very important. You can also use your voters card as a means of ID, a means of national pride. So voters card has got very important bearings, and we need to ensure we go and get it. 11th of July is the last date. There is registration taking place right now. Go and register, and when you register, get ready to vote APRC, because when APRC goes back to government, we will restore security in our homes, in our streets, in our workplaces. When APRC goes back, free education will return for all, especially girls, free and compulsory education. When APRC returns, the quality of education will improve. When APRC returns, the quality of medical care will improve. When APRC returns, the environmental destruction that's taking place on the Barrow now will stop. When APRC resumes, the corruption that's taking place on the Barrow now will stop. When APRC resumes, we will fight for the average Gambian. We will restore our full sovereignty and our full territorial integrity. Because right now, Gambia is not Gambia. Gambia is in the hands of other people. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important, vital, very, very important that we all went out and sought voters' cards and secured them. If you're going to be 18 on the 4th of December, or you're over 18 already, go and get a voters card. Getting voters card is simple, it's easy, and it's free. Every citizen is entitled to one. You'll get your voters card if you get an attestation from an alcalo or a chief, or you got your birth certificate, or you got your ID card, or you got your passport. Any of these documents will get you a voters card. It's not difficult, it's not expensive, it's free. Please go and get your voters card and get ready for the 4th of December, because APRC is going to win again. I'm appealing to all of you to start voting for APRC again. Thank you very much. This is one of my first political YouTube streams, live ones. I'm just testing it, but the facts I've just discussed there are real. They're very important, and I'm going to share this video and the audio with supporters of the APRC party, so we can motivate them to go out and register to vote. Very important. They have to go and get their voters cards. That's their voice, that's their power. They must. Make sure you share this video with people, APRC people, Gambian voters. Please share this video with them. You can download the audio and share it. 11th of July 2021 is the last day to register to vote, and to get your voter's card is simple. Get an attestation from an alcalde or a chief, get your birth certificate, get your ID card, or get your passport. One of those will give you your voter's card, and the voter's card is free of charge. Make sure you go and get yours. Very, very important. We need to change the current Gambia government, because the trajectory of the current Gambia government is scary. I'm afraid for my own country's future. We are in very perilous waters. Uh, we hanging precariously on the balance, and we need to change that. We can change that. Our voter's card is our power. Our voter's card is our word. Our voter's card is the captain that's going to turn the current Gambian ship, which is bound for collision, into safer waters. Right now, Gambia is in stormy waters, and we need to save that giant vessel. The only way we can save that giant vessel is by voting. Your voter's card, your voice, your word, your power. Go and get it. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm gonna end this live now.